I'm Steve Mignotti doing the junkyard crawl in rural Vermont with a 1980 Subaru GL station wagon. Now, the GL wagon is a very special vehicle in many ways. We'll get to them one by one. Now, humble beginnings for Subaru. First Subaru was built in 1958 as the miniature 360 mini car, but they moved from strength to strength. And most Subarus I remember as a kid were these things right here. Front wheel drive only. You can see front wheel drive on this one right here. But all wheel drive came along in 1972, and something was it was an SUV made by Subaru. But as you get into the 1980s and later, Subaru had optional four-wheel drive system. And again, optional. All Subarus built after 1985 did have standard four-wheel drive. Before that, it was an option you paid extra for. Otherwise, it was front-wheel drive, which was still very decent for driving around in the winter in Vermont, places like this. Something kind of cool, seen only in 1980 and 81, is this, the Cyclopse eye. You know, Preston Tucker had a Cyclops on his Tucker of 1948, but this thing right here is an electrically operated door that lifts up to expose a halogen light right there. Only worked in low beam mode. The idea was for passing or driving along in slow speeds on country roads. And this thing here was electrically operated up and down. So it's kind of a cool little hideaway thing. Most people don't realize that that's a thing. And of course, Subaru's 6-star logo right there is the Constellation Pleiades right there. That's what that is. If you ever wondered, that's what it is. The Constellation Pleiades, which Bob Lazar says is where the aliens came from. Okay, take that for what it's worth. But as we move our way around this is a GL, which makes it the better trim level. Standard fare on these things was these 5-spoke. They were once white, sort of a styled wheel, very heavy-duty stuff. The base wheel on DLs would have been less adorned, but equally functional, but, utilitarian wheels. But again, the sporty wheels, like they were originally white. That was the color on these things. Of course, 1980, Subaru was the official car of the U.S. Olympic ski team. It was that good in snow. They did TV commercials touting that fact. And let's take a look at the engine. Subarus are interesting. Even today, they're everywhere. Flat fours, flat sixes for that matter. They're liquid cooled, turbocharged engines, the STI, etc. Great cars. But with that said, humble beginnings once again. There is the 1.8 liter flat four and the prop rod, which helped to keep the car light. And we put this here, no elaborate hinges with springs, but there it is right there, flat four, 1.8 liters. And again, the sound of a Subaru is very unique. It's a single overhead cam design. With that, it might be a push rod. It's a push rod engine, this one here. So push rods on the Subaru 4-banger. But again, the starter motor way here at the back, very easy to service, replace right there. Starter motor, small starter motor, little engine. Spare tire lived right here. And again, being a front-wheel drive car, they had to package things properly and smartly. McPherson struts up front, of course. And kind of a neat little piece right here. But once again, I can't get over the retractable headlight here. And again, that's theoretically for passing or for low-speed use on dirt roads. Doesn't work with the high beams on. There's a little button on stock that turns that on or off. It's coming on this side here. And once again, Subaru, like everybody else, had to obey the federal mandate for impact-absorbing bumpers. They did it here with these collapsible rubber fascias on the side here, which allowed that much travel right there. And there's hydraulic cylinders behind that, which to theoretically go back to the original configuration within 24 hours. At least that was the mandate as set forth by the Fed, seen here. And again, this is a station wagon. These are also available in 2-door and 4-door sedan mode. But this one here is a hatchback, very useful. And at the back, we see, this is interesting, the 4-wheel drive logo here. Again, Subaru, not 4-wheel drive. Standard 4-wheel drive came standard on 85 onward. Before that, you paid extra for the 4-wheel drive system. And there's right there a brag tag saying, hey, I paid extra for the 4-wheel drive. With the 4-wheel drive in effect, this thing would probably go anywhere, virtually anywhere. And the hatchback here, the optional rear wiper right here, kind of cool. You see the heated backlight here. These are embedded wires that heat up the glass and melt away the snow or help to it. And the wiper kicks in from there. It's electrically operated. The switch on the dash. Let's pop this open and see what we can find. Yeah, a lawnmower. That's cool. And again, this kind of accentuates the fact that these are really useful. A lot of utility for such a small vehicle. You can put a lawnmower back there. All kinds of cargo can go right back there. And the beauty of a hatchback is that, right there, we're looking at it. And these are 4-door hatchbacks, so very utilitarian, very useful car. Probably fuel economy on this thing would have been somewhere around 35 if you drive it nice. So really a great car for the times. And a lot of detail. I think this might be an aftermarket. It might be factory, I'm not sure. But it's an aluminum deflector to keep the rear window dust free, keep the eddies of air from continuing that, coating that with dust and dirt. Aftermarket roof rack, I'm sure. I don't think that has the same function or shape as a Subaru piece. Maybe it is, but nice to have a roof rack. In case if you run out of space back here, you can put the stuff on top. There's some bungee cords to hold it down. And these have four-wheel drive on the fly. In other words, there's a lever inside the car. You might be able to see it from here. But yeah, next to the, it's a 4-speed manual, this one here, but right next to it is a little thing that says 4WD. So again, you just put that in the gear. You can go down the road. You can engage it while you're moving. No need to stop the vehicle. But there it is, 4-wheel drive right there. Put it in 4-wheel. And of course, 4-speed. And these have a hill holder too. So if you're new to a clutch on a hill, you can use a hill holder, keep the car from rolling backwards. It does it for you with the clutch pedal depressed. The brakes are activated gently, and it won't roll away or roll back into the car behind you. And kind of cool, 85-mile-an-hour speedometer, standard fare on these things, federally mandated until I think 1989 or somewhere around there. But again, these cars here, not really born to go much over 85 for a long period of time, but great for daily use. Certainly in a place like Vermont or anywhere there's a lot of snow or bad weather, you'd want one of these things. These are big sellers then as now. So that's the story of this 1980 Subaru GL station wagon with all-wheel drive and the Cyclopse eye. Take that, Preston Tucker. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Mag's YouTube channel and come back tomorrow for more Junkyard Crawl. Thank you for watching.